And we're back. Congratulations on receiving our latest newsletter and our emails. Um, so, what's going on, Ray?
um,
This is called ambush journalism. So, surprise,
sure
you've been
is.
ambushed.
Wow. Well, on the way back from Long Beach, that's what's happening.
See, he's representing his colors. Brown, the color of poo. Um,
Oh man.
oh shit. Anyways, so I'm recording this right now on some of our new tech. It's not new. I just haven't. I've had this for 2 years. I haven't done shit with it. So it's not new tech. It's just unused tech, I should say.
Unused tech. There you go. That works.
So why are you up in Long Beach? What has you going into that side of the hood?
Went to the Pike, hang out with my lady, and
What's Pikes?
the Pike. You know, over there with the Pike outlets and the where that little the little bay.
Bro, if it ain't Bluey or freaking, Pokemon, I have no idea what anything is anymore.
Okay, what about the Long Beach Aquarium?
Okay, I know where that is. Yes.
That's right next to the Pike.
That doesn't help.
I mean, if you literally look across the street of Shoreline Boulevard, you see the Pike from the
Okay,
the aquarium.
all right, I know where that is because we went to the Pokemon card trading Traders Emporium, or no, it was a convention. It was a Trader Con or something like that. We went to, and it was all things Collecticon. It was Collecticon. That's what it was. We went to that last year, and that was right there at the convention center. So good times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And the convention center is right across the street from the Pike.
Yeah. It's in that corner. That used to be an empty lot. I remember that. There was a whole bunch of needles there when I was a kid. I definitely got stuck by them. That explains a lot, actually.
Hilarious.
So what's going
man.
on? So yeah, do you have any thoughts on RO drinking water? Like an RO system for your house?
Outside of that, it makes the water is really, really good and pretty clear of impurities, and I would get it. Outside of that, no.
Yeah, I mean, and so the reason I'm asking is because like we're oh, by the way, listeners, I've moved to Vegas, and that's why my sounds amazing. Ray is still stuck in the boonies out in California, and so he has to be, we can't be in person anymore. So we have to record using modern technology, which is not so modern anymore. It's old. It's been sitting in my backpack.
Sure.
So, but my problem is everybody has water softeners in these RO drinking water systems, and I'm like, do I need one? WTF, man? What's going on?
Yeah, definitely. Water in Vegas is really hard, man. You definitely need software.
Okay, but that's the thing. It's not as hard as the water that was where I was living before. Like TDS or whatever, the total dissolved solids, was at 600 in my old neck of the woods, and now it's at 400, which is, to me, is fine. I'm like, okay, whatever. But everybody, including you, is telling me I should get not an RO, like a water softener. So I'm wondering,
Yes.
what if I just focus on the drinking side of things and let my skin hate me, and and stick with just the water drinking filtration portion? Or is that a waste of time? Do I need to soften it first before I filter it, or is the filtration good on hard water too? I'm assuming it's going to be fine. It's just a matter of how quickly it gets filled up with particulates, right?
So this is how I'm going to present this to you.
All right.
Because I have a thought about how you're handling this situation right now, and I'm going to take it as this. If this was a graphics card in which you can pick out what is that, 20% more performance,
Uh-huh.
you would buy that in a heartbeat, pretty much regardless of the cost, as long as it's within a budget that you have set for it.
Okay.
Now you have this opportunity to get something way cheaper than that has the same performance,
Okay.
but it seems like because it's not in the tech realm, you're being a little cheap, my friend.
I am being cheap. You're damn right. I am being stingy. I don't give a shit. Like I cannot agree with you enough, sir. I don't give two shits about this water. I will drink from the hose. I don't care. My give a fuck is broken on this. I'm trying to give a fuck. I don't know how to give a fuck anymore. I have zero. Lay thine eyes upon thy field and see that it is barren. Wait, no, that's not how. No, lay thine eyes upon my field of which I plant my fucks and see that it is barren. Okay, that's
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I don't care. Like that's why I'm trying to get away. I'm trying to make everybody happy the cheapest way possible. Okay. now, mind you, I want water. I want good water. Like I want water that I can drink. 400 ppm or whatever, 300 ppm, 700 ppm. As long as it's not literal poison, it's fine.
Well, first of all, 700 is way too high.
Okay.
To begin with.
Yeah.
That's way too high. You're not going to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, typically for drinking water, you want to have something in it. So, like, I don't agree with zero water because
Okay.
you're not getting the nutrients you need from water.
Okay.
Essentially, you're drinking distilled water, which is not bad for you, but it's also not good.
It's not going to taste good, right? That's the problem.
No, just distilled water has no taste.
Mm.
It has zero taste, because it has nothing in it, but literally H2O. So what I've, through my research, what I've seen recommended is between 100 and 300 ppm is what you're looking for in your water. That will have the nutrients you need from water, the calcium, fluorides, things of that nature, that your body actually requires. So I would definitely do a reverse osmosis if you don't care about the softening aspect.
Okay.
And if you don't feel it's a big deal, nothing's getting clogged, then I'll say screw it.
Yeah.
Call it a day and just get the reverse osmosis at least.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking, because reverse osmosis, like, just to get the filtration is like, it's like between $200 and $300. So it's like, okay, versus a water softener, which is between $400 and $800, depending on which current promotion you're looking at.
But you also have the option where you can rent it, though.
Yeah, but dude, that rental is not worth it. Like I've been crunching the numbers, and like now that I know what the prices is on this shit, like it's not like within the first 6 months you've already overpaid everything.
Well, here's the thing, though. In your situation of where you're at, since that's not your permanent residence, would it make sense to rent it?
Nope, because I can literally uninstall it as easy as taking apart an analyzer.
All right, there it is.
Like I mean, like that's why it's like once I saw like what goes into it, I'm like, oh, they're just tapping off the cold water feed of the under sink unit, and then they're routing a line over to the drinking line. And I'm like, oh look, there's the drinking line that goes over to the fridge. I'm like, oh, so I just loop this into this, bro.
Yeah.
I'm done. Like I'll just buy the stupid thing and put it in there. Same thing with the
Well,
water.
the softener, you'll do it at the loop in the garage.
You'll do it at the loop in the garage, exactly. So you just shut off the water. You shut off the water main for an hour and a half while you do it. Cook up a couple of fittings, and you're done. It's like we've done like you. If I paid for installation, it's like going against everything I stand for, as far as being like
right?
being
No,
self-sufficient. Like I'm not.
That's true.
I'm like, yeah, okay. Like I would just make fun of that guy. Like, hey, by the way, what do you do for a living? Oh, I work in IT. Oh, and you're dropping off your laptop at Best Buy? Okay, let me know how that works out for you. I would never let that guy live it down. I'd just be like, I would clown him forever. Like, Like, oh, you work at NASA? Oh, okay. And you need me to build your rocket? Wow, you're a dipshit. Yeah. Like, and especially because the RO system that I'm looking at is literally the same thing that was working on that the PFS. I'm like, oh, I've seen this.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've replaced this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
really can't. I really can't justify not doing it
No,
myself.
no,
Like,
that's true. That's
yeah,
definitely true. Yeah,
So I was like, okay,
absolutely.
yeah. It's like, oh, you paid somebody to come in there. Who'd you pay? Oh, did you bring your old company in? Yeah, because they have expert people that know how to do it there.
Including me, in
Yeah,
which I am
exactly,
not doing
exactly. Oh shit, yeah,
I feel that. But
yeah,
yeah,
man.
there you go. Then yeah, just do that then for
That's what I'm
now,
gonna
man.
do. I'm thinking we're just gonna get the RO system first, right? Solve the drinking water problem. Worry about the water softening down the road. Just 'cause
Yeah.
it's more of an expense, you know. And renting it, dude, they want like 70 something bucks a month, and they want between 55 and 70 to rent a salt system, right? And I'm like, okay, literal, and they're like, yeah, it's all the same stuff. And I'm like, oh, thank you for telling me that, because then I looked it up on Home Depot, and like the same grains and all that was like 600 bucks. I'm like, bruh, that don't make any sense. Like that, like 600 bucks, and you want me to pay for how long? Like, no, I'm good. Like, and
How
yeah,
often do you need to change the filter?
on the
Or
RO system, probably once or twice a
no,
year.
no, no, no,
Oh,
no. The softener.
oh, the softener, you just have to. It has its own cycle to regen its the resin. So you just have to. It has a salt monitoring portion, so it'll tell you when you need more salt.
Oh, so you just gotta get more salt for it.
You literally. So the way it works is it goes through a resin that softens that sucks out all the calcium and the magnesium,
Yeah, yeah.
and then that resin gets saturated with that, right? Because it's whatever. Then you use a brine solution to regenerate that resin, and then that flushes out all the magnesium and everything, all the calcium and magnesium. It flushes that out with this brine solution, and then that goes to drain, and then that's it. You're done. And so it'll flush. Yeah, I don't remember if it does it as a flush or if it does like as a continuous stream. Like, I don't know, because I think there's a whole bunch of valves involved here, if I remember seeing that correctly. I'd need to look at a flow schematic, but it's whatever. Oh, so I'm out here in Pennsylvania getting quote unquote trained on these gas recovery carts, and I'm like, I'm having flashbacks to fucking to that job we were on, man, where it was just like nonstop giant piping and lots of fittings, and I'm like, yeah, I know all this shit. I'm like, and I'm like, oh, I can work on this, and they're like, oh, we're waiting on something. I'm like, I can fix it, and they're like, what do you need? And I'm like, I know what the problem. Like some shit was like they have to replace a vacuum pump, but they have to replace something else. Like, okay, whatever. But like one of the things is like they're like waiting on a manifold, and I'm like, you don't need to replace the whole thing. I can just fix this. And they're like, it's under warranty. Don't worry about it. I'm like, cool. I'm not gonna worry about it then. So that was the end of my training today.
Nice. Okay.
It's just funny,
That's wild.
dude. Like it's wild how like the things that you are expecting to do at a job versus what you actually have to do are just very wildly different, you know.
Yeah.
So,
That's why it's hard. Like when you read a description for a job,
mm-hmm. It
and
doesn't mean
you
anything.
and you're looking at
Doesn't
and you
mean
look at this verbiage, and it's like, okay, this is just a fancy way of saying this,
anything. Mm-hmm.
or this is a very roundabout way of saying this.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. Most of the time, it really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, and that's why it's like, and that's why there's so many jobs that don't matter, like who you know, like it's not what you know, it's who you know. You know, it's like, yeah, because
Yeah.
you're gonna get in there and it's gonna be something completely different. But yeah, so hopefully I remember to post this online, because
Yeah, that would be nice.
that'd be good.
You know?
It's probably good to have a consistent posting schedule.
Yeah, yeah, that definitely would work and be
Positive.
optimum result.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
positive.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so what's new with you? Are you anything in the news recently that caught your attention?
um, well, wait, there was something I was talking about yesterday that caught my attention in the news, and I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I put you on the spot by calling you, but
Yeah, you did. So, so
it's like asshole.
I guess my one of my things that I was just thinking about,
Hmm.
right? So, and whoever is listening, correct me if I'm wrong. As a if once you become a felon,
Yep.
you commit a felonious act,
Mm.
and
Masturbation in public.
I mean that's a misdemeanor depending where you're at.
That's a good point. It's a good point. It's a very
In front of school, it's a
based
felon.
based on the jurisdiction. You're absolutely right. Yeah, location matters. Location matters.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so you commit a felony, you are no longer able to vote.
Yep.
Um, however,
Mm.
you still could run for president.
Wait, who? Who's got a? Wait, which one? Which one of our presidents is
Well, currently,
Mm.
one that's running for president is Trump, who is
Oh,
a felon.
was he
And
convicted of a felony?
yeah, yeah, I
Oh.
forgot how many counts of that
Oh man, I
the
am
hush
out
money
of it.
trial. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it was like 32 counts or something like that.
oh jeez.
But it was yeah, it was he was convicted of all counts. Now, granted, it's like a white collar crime or whatever,
Mm.
but you're a felon, so therefore you shouldn't be able to vote. Yeah, it was 34
Trump was
counts.
convicted by New York jury on May 30th of 34
Yep,
felony counts of falsifying business records.
there you go.
Yeah.
So my
Okay.
point of all of this, right? Because regardless if you're a white collar crime felon or somebody did some really egregious shit as far as murdering or whatever
Hmm.
else, it's felony is felony, right? So in either
In
way you
theory,
can't
yeah.
vote. So
Yeah.
my thing is this: how can you run for an office in which whom you cannot vote for?
Hmm.
Right? So, you know,
That's a
he's
valid
no longer
point.
able to vote. So whatever within the state that he is in, and they have, their senators coming up, he is not able to vote for that, if he's not president. If he wants to vote for a president, he cannot vote for a president because he is a felon.
Yeah.
But yet he
Well,
can run for said presidency.
I mean, it's very clear in the Constitution that you have to be 35, a
Yep,
natural-born U.S. citizen, and have lived in the
absolutely.
U.S. for at least 14 years. There's no rules that state you can't that blocks you from being a candidate, right? Like,
Absolutely. I
so
totally get that.
yeah, but you're
That's
right.
why
I
it
mean,
doesn't
but
make
it
sense.
does seem it does seem it does seem quite incredulous. Now, the only thing, obviously, to play devil's advocate, right? Like, all
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
so he was convicted. However, he
correct.
was just convicted, meaning we said May 30th, right? That's what I just read in the headline. So
Yeah,
May
yep,
30th, which was less than a
yep,
month ago.
yep.
Um, so would that prevent him from continuing his campaign at this point? I think the answer is no, because
Oh,
obviously every conviction can be appealed, right? So while it's pending litigation, I mean, you might be like, I don't know how that works. Let me Google it.
well, you're
But
you're you're essentially a convicted felon once you're convicted
hmm
until it is annulled or void by an
hmm
appeal. So then it's wiped off. So right now, currently,
that's a good
that's
point.
what he
Okay,
is.
okay,
Now,
all right.
if the appeal goes through in a positive favor for him, where it
Hmm
gets dropped misdemeanor or taken, expunged all the way out,
hmm
at that point he will be no longer a felon.
Gotcha. Okay, so like yeah, and it's true, right? Because we're talking about felonies. We're
Yeah,
not talking about misdemeanors here. We're talking about actual felonies. So we have to,
right.
like you said, we have to equate this as the same as like armed robbery as a felony, right?
Exactly.
Armed
Yep.
robbery, aggravated assault, like all these kind of general charges. He was
Yep.
convicted of 34 of those. So as far as the
Yeah.
courts are concerned, that's like you robbing 34 convenience stores, You know what I mean?
Correct.
And
Correct.
for me, that would be, the same as, committing tax fraud, 34 times, because we all know what kind of crimes your people would convict or make, and we all know what kind of crimes my people would make. So that's not racist. It's not racist because it's a joke, people. Okay. See how he's laughing? He's not yelling at me because it's a joke. God damn. Sorry, some people just can't take jokes anymore. That's anyway.
No, we live in the ultra PC culture where
Oh God.
even comedians or jokes can't be free.
Did we talk about the origination of politically correct? Like what it means to
I
be
do not
politically
think so.
correct? Okay. So literally political correctness came from like communist countries, because there was the correct answer and then there was the party answer, right? To be politically correct. So you were literally like, it's like, oh yeah, no, the sky is blue, but the politically correct answer is it's pink. And so to be politically correct was to be capitulating to the party line, towing the party line of whatever it was. Yeah, like that's where it came from. Like that was literally it. Like the old Soviet Union, like that's what they like. You had to, and there's a great example of this in the docuseries Chernobyl, where they have to they're forced to cover up and cover up how bad Chernobyl is, and like the party line is this, and there can never be a nuclear disaster in Soviet Russia, like it's all this stuff. And so the USSR does not have a nuclear catastrophes, and that's the party line. So that's the political correct answer, right? And so to be politically correct was to mean to literally just lie your ass off, right? Like you to take what you know to be true and just spin it however people want to hear it. So to be PC is to be fraudulent fundamentally. Like if you want to be politically correct, it's all the politically correct term is blah blah blah, and it's like, well, no, that just means you know the truth and you want to ignore it, right? That was the origin of it. It's now come to mean other things, but I mean, it doesn't really. It kind of sounds like that's what it is, So
no, that's not exactly what it is. Just
right?
not as
well, it doesn't come with gulags. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
There's fewer gulags now, although I would say the new.
Nowadays the gulag
is
is getting canceled.
Cancel culture,
cancel
right?
culture.
Yep, exactly. Like, people get canceled, and all of a sudden, it's like, oh, they can't possibly do anything right. You can do nothing right for the rest of your life, and it's like, so anyways, yeah, sorry, that was a funny joke. If you didn't laugh, I'm sorry. If you did laugh, congratulations, we're friends. Anyway, so what were we saying? Sorry, I got distracted by political correctness and how we aren't.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Nah.
That's fine.
Oh, we were talking about in general about the jokes. People, how the nature of our society is how it's changed, and how certain things that especially I just, when it comes to comedians, especially known comedians, there should be a pass on a lot of things, because most of it's a satire of how the world is, and they're just making jokes off of that. And especially if it's like, I can understand if it was a comedian that only attacked this one group of people.
Oh yeah.
Then I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you're questionable right now, buddy.
Yep.
But it's the comedians, most comedians, they attack everybody, including themselves and their own culture.
Yeah,
but as soon as they step out of that, oh no, you can't say that.
Right.
Oh, no. You are racist, sexist, phobic, all this stuff.
Oh man, yeah, and it's unfortunate that's where our, what was it? I was talking to somebody. It was like our society is like, hang on, let me think about this for a second. You speak and say things while I think about things. I don't have to do all the heavy lifting here. You're your co-host. Start doing the co. Listen, co. Start doing the hosting. All All right.
Start doing the hosting, Joe.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
but
that's right.
it's
That's
just-
right. So,
there
so
you go.
I'm sorry. So we were talking about what kind of felonies you would be convicted of, and what kind of felonies I'd be convicted of. So all things being equal, 34 felony counts. Like if you're a convicted felon 34 times and you've robbed 34 banks, like you would not be able to hold down a job. Like no job would hire you, right? Like it's not gonna happen, right?
Well, even with just one, no job will hire you pretty much.
Yeah, and that's a whole other rant that I've got going on, where I think the for-profit prison system and all that. I think we talked about that, but we touched on that before, and that's a huge debacle in and of itself. But so let's go back to our presidential candidate who has 34 convictions, right? And
Yep.
he's currently running. He may appeal, and maybe he'll get overturned on appeal later, and those convictions will get thrown out. But currently, he is a felon, right? So that's what we agreed on.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. What is the problem is, I think the only thing worse for America than another Trump term is another Biden term.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, realistically, right? And fundamentally, Biden is. And there's even that report that just came out, like, oh, he's an elderly man who's forgetful. I'm like, those are not good words to be saying about the president of the United States. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, oh, hey, am I president today? Or am I still in high school? Like, slow down there, Speedy. Like, we need you to remember this stuff, like, kind of now, okay? Because you got your finger over the button, and I need you to remember what you're doing right now, okay? Yeah,
it's sad that these are only choices that we have, and neither are good. One's worse than the other, but it's just like it's really like a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Well, yeah,
you know
exactly. You're absolutely right. It's we're both, either way we're fucked. So,
yeah, for sure.
But I mean, okay, so I think fundamentally, if Biden were to win the next election, I don't like, and I said this back in 2020. I didn't see him lasting this long. I think he's probably on some experimental drugs to keep him alive, because like his faculties are not, like, the slurring the words and everything, and that State of the Union was rough, man. that was rough.
Yeah, it's rough watching any of his addresses, because I'm not listening now to hear what he has to say. I'm just waiting for him to fuck up and embarrass himself.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's essentially what I'm waiting for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's sad, and that's not the thing that we should be waiting for. Like with Trump,
yeah.
I watched his because it was highly entertaining watching this dude. It was funny. I wasn't there to listen to really what he had to say in his policies. I was just like, oh, this is entertainment. Let's see what this dude's about.
Yeah.
You know, like just what crazy things he's gonna say.
Well, I think,
and now with Biden, it's just like I'm embarrassed to watch it.
Well, and I think fundamentally, if you were to have a two-party debate, you know, a Lincoln Douglas debate or a town hall or whatever you want to do between Trump and Biden, and it wouldn't, like, honestly, I think it would just be like, that's just elder abuse. That would just be elder abuse. Like.
Well, they already agreed to one. They're going to have one, and they agreed to have mics for them to be able to mute mics.
For them to be able to mute so who could mute the mic?
Yeah, not them. I'm assuming the panel.
Okay. The moderator.
That was just the whole time.
Hilarious.
Shut
Two old
Sleepy
guys.
Joe.
He'd just be muting each other constantly. Oh, it'd be
Oh my
hilarious.
God, man.
Here's a better debate, and this I'd pay money to see this. Just have them strip down to their boxers and just fight. Fuck it. You're better off. Like they're both. They're both. Joe's 80 and Trump is 78 or something.
Yeah,
They're
they're both old. Oh, yeah.
yeah, they're both 80-year-old men, right? At this point, just have a boxing match. Just fight. Get the baby oil out. Just
Get the baby oil out. Make a spectacle of it.
I mean, why not? It already
Get
is.
some baby oil and throw some glitter out there.
Shit, get
Let's just
Dana
really go
White
for
to
the gusto.
promote it. You let him go 3 rounds.
That's hilarious.
Get him in the octagon, man. Put the Vaseline on the eyebrows. Make sure
There's going to be a lot of waivers that are going to have to be signed.
Oh my
For
god.
something like that.
Oh, it'd be hilarious. But I think ultimately that's a more valid. That's the most valid. Like if you're already gonna make it like horse shit, just make it horse shit. You know what I mean? Like fucking Jerry Springer embraced that shit. Remember when Jerry Springer was trying to be like a real talk
He's
show?
trying to be like Oprah.
Yeah, he was trying to be Oprah, right? And then he was just like, I get all these crazies, and then he just went full bore into the bullshit, and he was just like, fuck it, let's just go.
He just embraced it, man.
He
He did not
embraced
care.
it, and he made billions of dollars.
It.
And it was the same thing with Maury Povich. I think he's still on the air, right? He does all the DNA testing, and it's just like episode after episode. It's like, you are not the father, and then the woman goes screaming into the background. She's back, 37th baby daddy. Let's go. In the case of Tyreek, John, you are not the father. No, screaming off stage.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
There's no one else that could be there. Yeah, there's 34 other guys, Monique. I'm sorry. I'm on the 35th test, yo. And and he's like, I didn't even fuck you. I just showed up because I didn't want to see you scream off stage. And Maury's like, it's like, I was just the barista that handed you your Frappuccino on the way down there. That's where you know me from. That's not because we actually fucked. You understand, Monique? That's not how that worked.
Yeah, the only problem you got was from the cappuccino.
Yeah, that was straight up just cappuccino, man. That was whipped cream. I'm sorry. It was, and there was a lot, I know, but no, it wasn't. There's no semen in that. That's why I'm not the father. You understand? No, she was screaming off the stage again. It's the best. It's the best show. Honestly, that is peak. There's peak entertainment because there's no point where because at some point they're gonna find the father just because there has to be a father, right? Now, I mean, I guess there was that one time, but they're gonna find a father at some point. She's just too dumb to remember who she spread her legs for, and it's so gut-wrenching, and it's a train wreck. You can't not watch. You know what I mean? That's why it's peak.
Drama sells, dude. Drama sells. As long as it looks good enough to be somewhat believable and plausible to actually happen, people are gonna love it. That's why wrestling is still going on, because there's nothing but soap operas for men.
That's true. That's
what wrestling is nowadays.
A good point.
Man.
That's exactly what it is.
So people love drama. They don't care what it is.
It's my studies.
Personally, I'm not a big drama fan of, like that type of drama because I have enough drama in my life. I don't need additional drama. I'm good.
Now, to be fair, the drama in your life is all from one source, okay? For the most part.
I mean, this is true. This is very extremely true, but it's so heavy. I don't need any more outside drama.
Yeah,
I don't even care to watch other people's drama.
Yeah, that's good.
I want something in which I can laugh or see people getting fucked up.
Although, yeah. Speaking of dramas, though, have you watched some of those Yellowstone shows, man?
No, so my lady really wants to, and I've been hearing good things about it too.
Okay, so the best way to put it is it's Game of Thrones with horses instead of dragons.
Wild Wild West, but in the Wild Wild West.
I mean, so it's modern day, right? So the original show is in
Oh, it's
modern
modern
day.
day. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So it's all modern. It's all modern stuff. So it's like it's literally cowboys and Indians in modern day, right? And they have the two spin-off shows, 1883, which is a Wild West, spin-off.
That's the one with Kevin Costner, right?
No, Yellowstone is Kevin Costner.
Yellowstone's with
But
Kevin Costner.
1883 had the other guy. Like, you'll know who he is. I can't remember his name. But he was in that show. That was only 10 episodes or 12 episodes or something, and they stopped. And then they made a 1923 spin-off, which is like it's all about the Dutton family. Like the Dutton family is like the Kevin Costner character in the Yellowstone show, and then the 1883 show follows how the Duttons got to Yellowstone, or how they got to that land, and how like where their process of moving out west during the wagon train and all that crap. And then 1883 is all the continuing the story of that. Like I think 1883 and then 1923 is the story of the grandson of that previous family in the 1883 episode. So it's a continuation of the story. And I haven't watched it, but apparently, I haven't watched those the numbered shows, but I've been watching the Yellowstone. I'm like, holy crap, this is intense. I'm on like the last 2 episodes of season 1, so I'm not the best. Like, I can't tell you everything there is to know about it, but dude, it's intense. It's good.
Yeah.
So give it a watch.
All right, let's check it out.
Yeah. But that's our 36-minute mark, so I think we have enough for an episode now. What do you think? I might edit this last
sweet.
part out.